Beautiful friends and family. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. How are you guys doing this fine day as creatures of our Creator? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are barakah. Hope you guys are blessed in everything that you guys are doing. And I really hope and pray that there are those out there who diligently seek our Creator and seek His ways, His beautiful ways, and the beautiful ways of His Son. We are in some very interesting times in this world. And before the war in Israel even began, the day before it began, I did a video. And I didn't upload it that day because there was already an upload we had done for a podcast on here. And I didn't want to crowd them together. And it was last Thursday that I did it, and it was over Thursday night that they started bombing Iran. And since that time, what you don't hear on the mainstream media, but that is occurring, is that Israel is getting its butt handed to it. It is getting thrilled by the rockets and the missiles that Iran has. And when you look at what is happening and how North America always wants to stand with Israel, and I know it's not you guys. I know it's not the general public, because not a single one of you ever pushed a button to launch a rocket or to destroy people. But when you're dealing with a group of people that are Muslim, their entire lives are honored at dying in the name of their religion. So you have an entire millions of people. I think there's 92 million people inside of Iran. And all of these guys will absolutely jihad themselves out in the attempt of defending themselves and defending their freedom. So as I'm watching the alternative media, and you can actually see a lot of it at 153news.net, stuff you will never find anywhere else because the rest of the world has been completely censored, you're seeing that Tel Aviv and the rest of Israel is getting decimated. The stock exchange in Israel is gone. They've blown up a whole bunch of stuff. And the thing about Israel is they had a blackout. They censored anybody trying to send reports out of there. And so you have videos from guys, Indians on boats that are outside in the oceans that are sitting there videoing these rockets just come and light up these night skies and light up the land when they hit them. And we're at a precipice where you have a homicidal maniac, Donald J. Trump, who most of the U.S. voted for, supposedly. But again, I'd like to remind people that they're not elected, they're selected. And anybody who is not supposed to be where they are wouldn't be there. So you had the orange leader of the Supreme World that did his first round when he did his first term. And he nearly killed off most of the world. Very, very complicit in all of this. And then you had a guy who had died years and years before, and they kept throwing, guys that I guess kind of looked like him, Mr. Dead Biden. And the U.S. was just, we couldn't do anything, right? We saw people walking into the U.S., borders being open, all of the madness that was going on. And then you come back and the Orange Commander is going across the U.S. And what's very funny is it's not funny, but it's something to speculate on, is that they were having all of these, the ICE guys that were going across the U.S. prior to the launch of Israel's war. And I thought it was very interesting timing because they knew what was going on. In fact, Israel would not have been able to kill off the people and the leaders and do all the damage they did in surprise without the full assistance of the United States of America. So unfortunately, the U.S. is 100% complicit with this. And now that Israel is getting its butts kicked, there's not a lot of options other than Donald J. Trump. taking my friends and family and homeland back into probably one of the greatest wars that will be for all time. Now, none of this is a surprise because the Freemasons have all talked about this for years. There was a letter that Freemason Grand Master Supreme 33 Degree Albert Pike wrote to Mazzini, and it talked about 3 wars. And the 3 wars they were going to orchestrate all had to do with the coming of the New World Order and the control that they would have. Now, the first 2 wars have clearly been done. The last war that he talked about, this was a long time ago, guys. This was decades ago that they wrote this letter. And this last war that they talked about is bringing the Christians and the Arabs to a giant fight. And that will basically end a lot of stuff. And there's a lot going on. And it's stuff that as we see these wars and rumors of wars, and we see just more killing, madness, destruction over nothing. Iran never had a nuclear weapon. They were not after it. In fact, their own government had condemned having a nuclear weapon. All of their nuclear stuff that they had was for power. And that is what they were enriching uranium for. But it's just like George Bush with the weapons of mass destruction. And he went in, killed off the leader of Iraq, got all of our guys killed, ended up with all of these insurgents. Just a horrible, horrible time over in Iraq. And now you have Donald Trump going, oh, Iran's really close. They're within days of a nuke. They could have done this. They can't have these nuclear weapons. And, it's the greatest hypocrisy that you can ever see and ever have, that the warhammer of the world has all the nukes and all the weapons, and they're supplying them. And Israel's simply a proxy. It's doing the will of the U.S. It's doing the will of Germany. It's doing the will of all these people in the EU that are ready for war. You don't have the greatest military-industrial complex like the United States of America that can sit idle, right? Who's going to be buying all the weapons? Who's going to be buying all the ammunition? Who's going to be buying all the bombs, right? If there's not war, then the military-industrial complex isn't going to just sit idle. And so there always has to be a war. And inside of the United States of America, in the couple of hundred years that it's been around, it's only been at peace for about 20 years. 20 years is a time that we didn't have some sort of war or something going on somewhere where we had our hand fiddling in things that we should have never had. Spreading freedom, right? Remember that Iraqi freedom? The Iraqis didn't want the freedom. Nobody over there wanted what we did. Everybody was okay. They didn't like Saddam, but at the end of the day, he was running the country and it was secure. And so here we are. I believe, and I'm just going to toss this out, I believe before Shabbat of this week that the United States is going to enter into this war. And what's going to happen is all of the actual nuclear uranium plants in Iran are under mountains. There are hundreds of feet under mountains. And the only military that can take them out is the United States with their B-52 bombers and their ginormous bombs. They call them the Moab, the mother of all bombs, that are bunker-busting bombs. And I believe the United States is going to have to come to the aid of the psychopath killing machine Israel, right? And guys, as we're looking into this, people are always like, well, those are God's chosen people. Guys, these aren't God's chosen people. These guys have a Torah that is not our Torah. For those who are Torah keepers, we know that our Torah is the first 5 books of scriptures: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. These guys have the oral Torah, they have the Kabbalah, they have the Zohar. And when you look at Freemasonry, it's based upon the Kabbalah and the Zohar. And it's based upon witchcraft. The entire setup and the entire religion of Judaism is evil. When you are taking commandments outside of the regular commandments of our Creator, it's something that is a violation of a command. and you can't add to and you can't take away from the Torah. Same thing that Christians do when they have Sunday service, when they have eat everything that is unclean. All of these things are commandments, and you can't just say, I want this commandment, but I don't want these. It doesn't work like that, right? It's all or none. And that is what the kingdom people are all about, is all or none. And so as we observe the madness that is happening right now in the world, there's no better time right now than to get into scriptures and to get our lives and our families' lives aligned with the road to the kingdom. We don't know what the future is going to bring. We don't know if they're going to complete these wars. We don't know if the United States is going to jump into this. But again, I'm not doing any kind of soothsaying or any kind of anything other than just a guess that the United States is going to be into this war by Shabbat, which is really crazy because Israel launched this war right as Shabbat was coming, right? Friday night, Saturday night, right? That is the Shabbat. And so you have all of this warfare and all of this crazy stuff that these people that are tricking everybody into thinking they are the children of God. But children of God don't have abortion clinics nationwide, which of course Israel does. And of course, you don't have commandments outside of our Torah, which they do. And so we have to be very astute and understand who's really doing what and how and why. And again, there's nothing to fear. It could get messy. It could get violent. More than likely, it's already getting violent between Israel and Iran right now. People are dying. Many people are dying. People are running out of Israel. People are terrified, trying to get out. And it's probably rightfully so. These guys long for death. They long to die for their religion. And so Israel knew exactly what they were going to do. And unfortunately, I think the demon Satanist Donald Trump is going to take all of you guys into a terrible situation. And so my prayers will be for all of you guys. My prayers aren't for the United States. I don't think the United States can be saved. But my prayers are for all of you guys out there, my family, Torah keepers. Those who keep the laws, statutes, and commandments are my family. You guys are the ones I worry about. And just like the book of 2nd Ezra, I'm not worried about those who are lost. I'm worried about those who are my family of Torah keepers. And so understand that we are praying for you guys. I am praying for you guys. And I guess we will see what's going to happen. So, guys, what you're looking at right before your eyes is limited edition Yah Scriptures. It is still in print. This is the big blue book. We don't know if there will ever be another version of this book, especially with the world that's coming in. You know, all of our stuff is bought in China and it's shipped out of the United States. And so in the event that this pops off, it very well could be that there's no other big blue books that are ever published. And so we still have a good stockpile of these. And so we're still getting, selling a lot of these. And we're still able to get all of our Bibles into our brothers and sisters in chains. And that's what the Yah Scriptures is all about. It's all about a prison ministry. It's about us being able to minister to those in prisons of the United States, not just with scriptures, but with emails. And this is one thing that we're always doing, is we are always emailing back and forth. And I got to be honest with you. Over the last 2.5 years, I have sent out like 2,100, 2,200 emails to this point. And my eyes are starting to cross. And with my shoulder and my health the way it is, I've handed off the majority of all of the prisoners to my kids. And so now I have all 3 of my young lions. And my 3 young lions have been writing emails all week long. So it went from 1 of me to 3 of me. And I still have a couple of brothers and sisters that I'm very, very close to that I keep. But for the majority of them, my young lions are out ministering to all of these guys, jumping into my account, sending guys out. They just contact like another 20 some guys in Texas that we had leads for. And guys are writing us back. They're thanking us. And the boys, what we do is we always send them the laws, statutes, and commandments. The same laws, statutes, and commandments you can find in our app. You can find at yahuwahandthetorah.net. And we go over these a lot. We go over them on Shabbat. So for anybody who has not been on a Shabbat reading, it's 11 o'clock. I don't know. I think it's maybe Central Time is when it is. But on our YouTube channel, the main Yahuwah and the Torah channel, that is where you can find the listing for it. And we're very consistent with it. I think we've only missed one at one point because something drastic happened, or, when we get thundered out or stormed out when we can't do it. But we moved it there, and we hope to see you guys there. And it's definitely picking up speed, and it's definitely a blessing, a barakah, that we can all sit together, read these scriptures, that we can read the Torah, that we can do just like Ezra did back in the days, Ezra and Nehemiah and all the people of the greats of back in the day, where they sat and they read these beautiful words of our Creator. And so guys, you can go to yahscriptures.com, put those two words together, and all the free versions are under downloads. You can grab them for yourselves. Now, before we get into this, let us break down the second Ezra and let us read through this. So, guys, we are on chapter 13 today. You don't have to get caught up, because I'm going to nail this, and hopefully a little quicker than I have, because we've gone over this quite a few times at this point. So, chapters 1 and 2, it's Yahuwah's rebuke and the call to the righteous. Ezra is shown how Yashrael has forsaken the Most High despite countless blessings. Yah declares he chose Yisrael, delivered them, gave them Torah, yet they rebelled. Then chapter 2 shifts to atone. It's a hopeful message. It's given to the remnant. Those who remain faithful will be crowned by Yahushua, the son of Elohim, in a powerful vision that Ezra sees. This foreshadows the reward of the righteous and the judgment of the wicked nations. Now, chapters 3 through 6 deal with Ezra's questions and Yah's sovereignty. Ezra asks, why do the wicked prosper, and why the chosen people suffer? The angel Uriel is sent to explain that man's understanding is limited. Only the Most High knows his full plan. Parables and analogies show that the world is temporary and judgment is near. Ezra is told not to worry about the state of the wicked, but to focus on the salvation of the righteous. From creation, Adam, the fall, and the flood are revisited to show corruption entered early, and Yah has always preserved a remnant. And this remnant, guys, are those who keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You, me, those who love our Creator. Now, you can't say you love our Creator as you nail the laws to the cross, right? It doesn't make any sense at all when this happens, right? There's not a single law that you guys will ever find that is crazy or ridiculous. And we'll go over some laws real quick here in a second. But the last of 11 and 12 that we're going to revisit, it's the section, it's central apocalyptic visions in the book. And in chapter 11, Ezra sees a great eagle rise from the sea with 12 wings and 3 heads. It's interpreted as Rome and its divisions. The wings represent rulers of kings, and the head symbolizes power and wicked control. The eagle speaks arrogantly, exalts itself, and devours the earth, oppressing the righteous. Then a lion rebukes the eagle, announcing the end of its rule and the rise of the righteous. In chapter 12, the angel explains the eagle is the 4th kingdom, Rome, and the U.S., prophesied in Daniel. The 3 heads, the last of the 3 rulers, the multiple wings, various emperors and rulers. The lion is the Messiah, Yahushua, coming to judge the empire and deliver the remnant. The emphasis is the kingdom of Elohim is coming, the wicked will be destroyed, and Zion will be restored. And so with that, let us get into those beautiful scriptures. And guys, this is free. This is the app you're seeing right here, free of charge. Go into the Google Play Store, type in Yah Scriptures. We just got our other developer for the Android app into the developer end of the Apple side. It's coming fast, guys. He was able to rock this app out so fast. And so it's going to look exactly like you see right here. And one of the things I did want to show you guys is these beautiful Torah commands, right? This Torah command right here is starts off, and this is all in order of the scriptures, from the front of the book to the very end of the first 5 books. This is where we got this list as we read through them and wrote them. Then we went through them again, and we were just trying to organize and file these. And when I say you can't just take 1 or 2 and throw a couple in the trash, or there is a precedent that every single one of these laws, statutes, and commandments are very critical to us, right? Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. Which one of those aren't good? Which one of these don't seem like something that we should have, right? Do you want to be a sloth? Do you not want to be fruitful? Do we want to offer our children up to Moloch and kill them all off on the abortion tables and not multiply? What about replenishing the earth? Should we just chop down everything, destroy it, and never ever bring back what our Creator has given to us? Right? Things like this. Man and woman should build their own family, master sin. What is the opposite of that, right? When you nail these laws to the tree and you have no moral compass, you have no way forward. So should we say man and women should not build their own families? We should just have latchkey kids along with single parents all over the place and no family structure, right? Because that's the world we live in right now, and you can see how well that went. You can see that with our prison operations, where we talk to so many people, and 100% of these guys in prison never had people that kept the Torah. We never had parents that told us, hey, these are the guidelines. This is what our Creator wants from His people. We need to keep these, and we shouldn't be tempting our Creator. What about mastering sin? One of my most favorite commands of all, right? Because every single day we can completely try to master sin and try to get our lives in order. It's very important, right? What is the opposite of mastering sin? Living like a rebel, enjoying your best life now and having, whatever. Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you. These are all wonderful commands. Do not eat the blood, right? These are commands we have to have. We can't say we want one or the other or just any of this. So they're all good, every single one of them. They're for all people, all generations, all times. So here we are in the chapter 13 of 2nd Ezra. And in these days, we had Ezra, and he had 21 days of fasting. He had 14 days after that of just eating plants and things in the field, whatever he could find that he would stir up out there. And this is where we are at. So let's get into this. And it came to be after 7 days of eating just plants. I dreamed a dream by night, and see, a wind rose from the sea that stirred up all its waves. And I looked and see the wind formed the likeness of a man from the heart of the sea. And the man flew with the clouds of the Shamaim. And when he turned his face to look, all that was seen under him trembled. And whenever the voice went out of his mouth, all those who heard it, his voice burned as the earth falls away when it feels the fire. After this I looked, and see, a crowd of men without number was gathered together from the 4 winds of the Shamaim to overcome the man who came out of the sea. You guys want to take a guess at who this man is? You guys want to know who the cavalry just came in? You want to know who it is that the world is wanting to fight, is wanting to take away? A crowd of men without number gathering together from the 4 winds, right? The four corners of these plains. Everybody decides they don't want this new supreme commander, this all-powerful entity that has come out. But I looked, and see, he had carved himself a great mountain and rose upon it. And I tried to see the region or place from which the mountain was carved, and I could not. And after this I looked, and see, all those who were gathered together to overcome him were very afraid, and yet were bold to fight. What does this sound like, right? The military industrial complex of the world, right? You have an entire world population that is either Christian or Muslim or something, but what they aren't is Torah observant people that love our Creator, love His ways. And so when you have a power that comes and they are tested, that they believe that their power is going to be taken, they're bold to fight. So you have the whole world that's now fighting against our Messiah. And when you talk about the love and the compassion and the amazingness of our Messiah, I've said it before. Next time Messiah comes, he's not coming for peace. He's coming for war, and he's coming with ultimate power. When you are the son of the Most High, and your dad has created all the elements, and he knows how everything is made, he's the greatest scientist of all, the greatest engineer that has ever been out there. His kid, Messiah Yahushua, is going to be a battle-weary guy. He's going to be unstoppable, and you're not going to want to spar with him verbally or with weapons. 9. And look, as he saw the violence of the crowd that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held a sword, nor any weapon of battle. But I only saw that he sent what looked like a blast of fire out of his mouth, and a flaming breath out of his lips, and he threw out a storm of sparks out of his tongue. And they were all mingled together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great storm, which fell with violence on the crowd that was prepared to fight, and burned up every one of them, so that suddenly none was seen of the innumerable crowd, but only dust and a smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. You know that smell of burnt hair or the smell of burning corpse? It's going to probably be like that, right? It's incinerated bodies, and I bet it's hotter than any kind of oven. I bet it is hotter than all of these cremation units. I bet there's nothing left but something that'll blow away when the wind comes around. So you have the world's powers that all came at our Messiah, and he just torched them with his words, with his breath. This is why you do not want to be on the wrong side of history. You do not want to be against the Creator and his Son. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called to himself another peaceful crowd. And many people came to him, of whom some were glad, some were sorrowful, and some of them were bound, and some brought others with offerings. Then I was sick through great fear, and I awoke and said, "You have shown your servant these wonders from the beginning, and have counted me worthy that you should receive my prayer. Now show me the interpretation of this dream also. For as I consider in my understanding, woe to those who are left in those days, and much more woe to those who are not left behind. For those who are not left behind shall be grieved. Now I understand that which is laid up in the latter days, which shall come upon them, and to those who are left behind. Therefore they have come into great danger and much distress, as these dreams declare. Yet it is better for he who is in danger to come to these, than to pass out of the world as a cloud, and not see that which shall come to be in the last days." And he answered me and said, "I shall show you the interpretation of the vision, and I shall open to you that which you have asked. When you spoke of those who are left behind, this is the interpretation. He who shall endure the danger in that time guards himself. Those who have fallen into danger are those who have works and belief toward the Almighty." All right, let's discuss that particular verse, right? Those who have fallen into danger are those who have works. What are works? Works are the people who keep the Torah. When you walk the Torah, when you have the Torah in your heart, mind, and soul, it becomes works. That is what saved Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is what saved all the forefathers, David. All of the people that have come before our Messiah, there was no other option but to be saved by their works. You were either Torah observant and loved our Creator, or you hated him and you were a Gentile or a pagan. It's just how it is. So those who are into danger are those who have works. So there's a good chance that all of us as Torah keepers are going to fall into this danger. We're going to fall into this problems, struggles. 24. Know this, therefore, that those who are left behind are more Baruch than those who are dead. Those who are still in this world that are having to deal with all this are more blessed than those who are dead. This is the meaning of the vision. When you saw a man coming up from the midst of the sea, he is the one who Elohim, the Most High, has kept for a long time, who by himself shall deliver his creation, and he shall lead those who are left behind. Here we are, guys. This is it. This is what we have been waiting for as Torah keepers. This is the promise right here. This is our future. This is our president. This is our captain. This is our commander-in-chief. This is the Son of the Most High. This is our Messiah. And when he comes, he's going to come and annihilate these evil people. 27. And when you saw that a blast of wind and fire and storm came out of his mouth, and that he held neither sword nor any weapon of battle, but that his rushing in destroyed the whole crowd that came to overcome him. This is the interpretation. See, the days are coming when the Most High shall begin to deliver those who are on the earth, and those who dwell on the earth shall be astonished at his coming. Okay, this is, we've been waiting for this all our lives, right? We're still going to be astonished when Messiah makes his grand entrance. We're still going to be blown away. We're still going to be shaking, fearful, excited, with anticipation. It's going to be one of the greatest moments of our entire life. So, people are still going to be astonished, right? It's one of these things. It's not going to be something that it's supernatural. It's one of these supernatural things that we're going to see a guy in the air destroying all these people. There's going to be news reports of a complete massacre. And it's going to be these guys. And when these guys come, all these people are trying to destroy them. They weren't coming with knives and pitchforks and lanterns. They were coming with the greatest weapons that the war machines of the world have, which is really interesting because, I never really read these chapters. I know the context of where we are at and how far we are into this, but the entire talk that we had this morning when we were first going over this and the war machines of the world, it's so funny how this all plays into the readings that we do, because this is the same world war machines. Russia, China, US, Pakistan, all of these guys are going to come against our Messiah, and he's going to own them. Excuse me. Continuing on. 31. And one shall begin to fight against another. One city against another. One place against another. One people against another. And one reign against another. Guys, what are we seeing right now, right? We're seeing what could very well be a nuclear war right before our eyes. A month from now, the world may never look anything like it is. We don't know what the end is going to bring, but we do know from scriptures that the end isn't going to be good. That's one of the main reasons that today is the day that if you are not seeking our Creator, that if you have not gotten on your knees and begged for redemption, begged for repentance, begged and changed your life. Guys, it's not just about these begging for our sins to be forgiven. It's about walking the Torah to the very best of our abilities. And that's not going to say that you're not going to sin. But when you do sin, you know that you are in sin because you know the Torah. And that's what this is all about. It's about this perfected walk with our Creator. So here we are. 31 is the world we're in right now, right? It's probably about to get crunk in this world. It's not going to be good. 32. And the time shall be when these things come to pass and the signs take place, which I showed you before. And then my son, my Ben, shall be declared, whom you saw as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man in their own land shall leave the battle they have against one another. And an innumerable crowd shall gather together as you saw them, coming with desire to overcome him in battle. So here you are. These people are probably going to say this is an alien. Excuse me. They're probably going to say this is a danger to our sovereignty. This isn't good. People aren't going to get that this is the Son of the Most High. They're going to see this guy as somebody they have to take out. And so you have all these nations fighting against each other, bombs dropping, and all of a sudden Messiah comes. They all look and decide amongst themselves, we got to go destroy this guy. So this will bond the Gentiles of the world in a way that they have never, ever been bonded before. in a common theme, a common enemy, somebody that they want to destroy as these nations, somebody that threatens their superiority, somebody that threatens their armament, their weapons, all of this. And so they want to come overcome him in battle. But he shall stand on the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come, and shall be shown to all men, being prepared and built, as you saw the mountain carved without hands. So here it is, guys. This is our city. This is our government. This is our place. This is the place that hopefully those of us in this millennial reign will have an opportunity as these messengers come and gather us from the four lands, from the four corners of this lands, of these plains. This is what Scriptures tells us, is we will be gathered together. There will be a second Exodus. All of us are so far away. All of us are spread out, but there's legions and legions of messengers, and these messengers are going to come. And we have a commandment that says to obey the words of the messengers. When they come to you guys and say, come with me if you want to live. This isn't the Terminator, right? These are the live people. These are the messengers of the Most High. And if you have been barakah and blessed that our Creator has delegated you for this second Exodus, it's going to be wild. We are going to somehow get out of all of these places, and we're going to make our way over to Mount Zion. The land of Israel, the current people that have this land, they're all going to be dead. That whole area. Our job is probably going to be cleaning up bodies and getting the land back into order at the bottom of this mountain. At the top of this mountain is going to be a ginormous city that descends from the Shamaim. This isn't just one scriptures that tells us this. This is all over in scriptures that talks about Mount Zion and talks about the New Jerusalem that is coming down. And this is what gets me super excited, because I can't wait. I can't wait to get away from these devils and demons. Evil so scheming. All they want to do is mass destruction, kill and destroy us, and to take our lives, to corrupt our DNA. Everything that they do is what we are against. We try to keep our temples as clean as we can, but you have these maniacs that are dumping crap all over our heads every single day. Our waters are polluted, our lands are polluted, they pollute our food. There's all of these chemicals, cancers, and turbo cancers, and they want to inject you here, inject you there. And, we've always had, don't do drugs. But then we have, everybody's like, oh, you'd better do drugs or you're not going to eat. So it's such a hypocrisy in this world. Continuing on, 37. And he, my Ben, shall rebuke the wicked deeds of those nations who have fallen into the storm for their wicked life, and shall lay their evil thoughts before them, and the torture with which they shall begin to be tortured, which are like flames. And he shall destroy those without works by the law, which is comparable to me. Whoa, what about this law? I thought this was nailed to the tree. I thought this was a thing of old. I didn't think we had the law. Well, he's going to destroy those without works. So if you don't have the Torah, depart from me, you who are Torah-less. We're all going to be judged by the first 5 books of Scriptures. That's how judgment is going to come. There's no mystery on what Judgment Day is going to look like. Yes, we are totally accountable for every deed, every action, every evil thing that comes out of our heart, mind, and soul. We're going to stand before our Creator naked and have to deal with all of this. But there is a worse fate for those who are lawless, for those who have no works. What does James say about showing you his faith by his works? That's in the New Testament. All of this stuff there's tons of stuff in the New Testament. Our Messiah says, if you love me, keep my commands. And the Christians will go, well, that's only 2 commands, Jason. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and your neighbor as yourself. When in fact, you absolutely are a lying hypocrite when you don't have a set of laws and you say you love your Elohim, right? How can you love something or someone when you hate their instructions? You can't. It's hypocrisy, and it doesn't work. So those are going to be destroyed without works by the law, which is comparable to me. And when you saw that he gathered another peaceful multitude to himself, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away captive out of their own land in the time of Hosea. The sovereign whom Shalmaneser, the sovereign of Ashur, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came to another land. My brothers and sisters, this is you and me. These are the 10 tribes that I've been talking about for a long time. We have the 10 tribes of Yisrael, the northern tribes, everybody but Benjamin and Yehuda. And the claim of the people of Yisrael today being Judah, it's not even that. They're a bunch of Turks. This isn't about a bloodline. This isn't about anything of the sort. This is about those who are obedient to our Creator. And in the end times, the prophecy, the Hebrews 8 prophecies, where everybody turns to each other and everybody knows the Torah. I don't have to teach anyone the Torah in the future. Everybody knows it. It's just what we know. It's part of our life. It's what we do. So right here, this tells us, where do the 10 tribes of Yisrael come back to? The messengers, guys. The messengers are going to bring everybody over to Mount Zion. That's what this is all about, and it's coming. Whether it's this lifetime or the next or whenever, today is the day to keep these commandments. Today is the day to seek our Creator and to seek His Son and to seek the kingdom road. This is what it's all about. This is exciting stuff, guys. 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the Gentiles and go out to a distant land where mankind had not dwelt, that they might guard their laws which they had not kept in their own land. And they entered into Perath by the narrow places of the river. For at that time the Most High showed signs for them and held the flood till they had passed over. Okay, these are second Exodus miracles that you're seeing right here, right? You have a set of people that knew the laws, that have them, but the people of their lands don't guard the laws. Look to your neighbors on your left and your right, on your neighborhood, down your road. How many people do you see that are Torah keepers? How many people truly love our Creator, love their neighbors as themselves, love our Messiah, walk around with zit seats, read their scriptures day in and day out, keep their kids from being rogues and rebels and crazy Gentiles, right? That's what it's all about. One of the greatest things that I think we could have ever done is protect my young children like we have. We are those parents that you could say they're possibly overprotective. They're the kids that have never held hands with a girl, never kissed another girl other than mom, never ever had access to desecration and websites. We're so geeked out here that I built a special router just in my house. It turns the net off at a certain times. It blocks ports. Certain things stop at certain times. And we've done everything possible to protect our children, because there's a remnant. There's a 144,000 remnant. And when you look at the qualifications of the 144,000, it's none of us, right? We've all corrupted ourselves with women. There's a lot of potential for those kids that have not corrupted themselves and they're walking the straight and narrow. That's why I always encourage all of you youth out there to not rush into relationships. Even those who are not in relationships now, let Yahuwah be the guide. Let Him bring you the right spouse, the right person. He knows your needs. He knows your timing. He knows everything. There's no reason to rush into something that you're just going to be crushed with. So here we are, guys. We have signs for them, right? Most High showed signs for them. What signs are we going to get to see, right? We're going to get to see rivers that we can't cross, frozen, so we can skate across it. Are we going to have messengers that lift us up over mountains? Are we going to have oceans that are frozen, that we can have Sukkot every single day on the frozen lands as we make our way over to the new kingdom? What is this going to look like? I don't know, but it's going to be spectacular, and it's going to be amazing. 45. For there was a great way to go through that land of a year and a half, and that region is called Kerosheth. Then they dwelt there until the last days. And when they begin to come, the Most High shall hold the springs of the river again, that they may go through. Therefore you saw the multitude at peace. Guys, this is the Apocrypha power, right? This is the dedication that Ezra has had. 21 days of fasting, 14 days of eating grass and dandelions and flowers and things of that nature, that we have information like this, that the Creator is going to show us miracles. He is going to get us out of these cursed lands that we are in. Guys, there could be bombs falling all around us and messengers protecting us and taking care of us. That's where we have to have faith. We have to understand that our Creator isn't going to forget us. Does that mean we're not going to struggle? Does that mean we're not going to have something horrible happen? No. This is a testing land. None of us should expect to get out of this with our flesh. If we do, we are lucky. If we are called by the Most High with the messengers and delivered, wow, what an incredible way to go, right? This is just amazing. But what we know is that there's all going to be kinds of amazing stuff that's happening, right? Rivers holding the springs, holding the rivers, frozen things. Continue on, 48. But those who are left behind of your people are those who are found within my borders. Now, when he destroys the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. Yeah, here we are, Messiah Yahushua, the one, the only, our leader, our creator's son, our savior, our Messiah, our friend. This is who we have on its way. This is who we have on his way. He's gearing up. Guys, we're in the end times. We're in some crazy times. Just having the world on the edge of a nuclear war yet again is going to be, it's scary, but it's also exciting, right? It's exciting, right? Don't fear. Do not fear the reaper. Fear the one that can take your soul. Keep close to Yah and everything, guys. Continuing on, 50. And then he shall show them great wonders. Then I said, O Yahuwah, who reigns? Show me this. Why have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea? And he said to me, as you could neither seek out nor know that which is in the depths of the sea, even so no man on earth shall see my Ben, or those who are with him, but in his time of day. And again, even Messiah says he doesn't know when he's coming. He says that is dad's discretion, right? And our Creator, I believe, is allowing the topple of where the waterfall of evil where it's beyond, where everything is on fire. The men have completely destroyed this world. They've polluted the entire world. They're killing us all off day in and day out. And here we are. When it all seems lost, that's when he'll be here. That's when the Son will be here. 53. This is the interpretation of the dream which you saw, and why you alone are enlightened. For you have forsaken your own way, and applied your diligence to my law, and sought it. Whoa, there's that law again. And there again is the reason this book has been ripped out of scriptures. This is the reason, again, that nobody wanted you to ever see this. This is why, again, Yah Scriptures came at a time like it came, so that we could deliver these digital versions and the book versions to the entire world. The world is getting the words of our Creator, and no longer is all this stuff hidden from us. No longer do you have to go pay $25 for a Sefer app that's all corrupted with incorrect translations that confuses our Messiah and his dad as a Trinitarian beast. That is not what they are. They are individuals. Our Creator is one. His Son is one. But here we are. Ezra was counted righteous because he applied diligence to the law of our Creator and sought it. Are you guys seeking it? Are you reading scriptures? Are you reading the Torah? Do you know the 158 commands by heart? Would you know if you were sinning against the Most High? And if not, what's holding you back? Why are you endangering your soul and the souls of your family by not taking the road to the kingdom today? 55. You have ordered your life in wisdom, and have called understanding your mother. And therefore I have showed you the treasures of the Most High. After another 3 days, I shall speak further to you, and declare to you mighty and wondrous matters. Then I went out into the field, giving great praise and thanks to the Most High because of his wonders, which he does in due time, and because he governs the times, and these fall in their seasons. And I sat there 3 days. Wow. Whew. Wow, this is like one of my favorite books of all time. This is like just such an incredible read. So many promises, so much understanding of the 10 tribes of Israel that are going to be gathered from the corners of these worlds. The people who are obedient to his laws. Guys, are you being diligent to the laws of our Creator? That's what I want to leave you guys with today. That simple question. Are you ready? Are we ready to become stewards of Mount Zion? Are we ready to have a mansion in the Father's house? Are we ready for this supernatural city that comes down, is planted, affixed on top of a mountain range, defended by legions of angels, and our Messiah, who has all power to control the air, to control the fire and wind and the elements? It's much better than the rest of these demons that are out there. The alternative is spiritual death. And so, guys, until we meet again, I hope you are good. Much love to you all. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If I don't talk to you tomorrow, on Friday, I hope that you guys join us on Shabbat on our main YouTube channel, Yahuwah and the Torah. And I hope you guys are keeping Shabbat. It's part of the commandments, along with all the appointed times of our Creator. So with that, much love. Shalom. I'm out.